Hello and welcome to day 4. Let's dive straight into today because I have a topic that some people are going to absolutely love and other people, they're probably going to feel a little bit triggered by it. But that's okay. I am not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to speak my truth. So let's dive straight into it. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about when people are building their business, they're building their brand, they're building their product suite, they're doing all of the things. And one or two things happens here normally. So either the first person, they know their ideal client, they know their pain points, they know their desires, they know all of the things, and their product suite, it aligns, right? So it has a clear entry point, a clear exit point. There's a transformation that goes throughout it. It's just obvious where you start and you finish. They don't care that it's not for everybody. They know what their mission is. They know exactly what they're here to do. And so their products, they just make sense. They're high quality because they know, again, what they're here to do. So everything, it just works. The second person, they haven't really leaned into their ideal client as much. They honestly want to build an online business and they're just here for it. But, they're not exactly sure where to go, all the things. And they end up just putting something in their store for absolutely everybody. They're just like, you know what? If I've got something for everybody, if something's going to work, someone's going to buy something. And then that's a flow-on effect, right? Because then in their content, they're just trying to speak to everybody. And you know what? Because they've got such a wide audience at the beginning, do you know what happens? They end up serving nobody. And that's because they're out here just trying to sell anything to anybody. Now, don't get me wrong, you might see a few sales here and there. You might get lucky, you might get a couple of viral posts, things might happen. But I want to put this into perspective for you, right? When you go into, honestly, no shade on it because I love it. When you go into Kmart, there is literally anything that you can think of, right? Like you go in there for one specific thing. You probably walk out with a few different things because you're just like, bargain, better get that. But ultimately, the stuff that you bring home, is it stuff that you genuinely pay attention to? Is it stuff that you're like, I absolutely love this. I'm going to tell everybody about it. It is just like the best. It's my favorite thing ever. Really, again, maybe sometimes, probably not. You just got into, if you use it, you don't. You're not going to be upset about it because it's like a low cost item, right? And again, no shade on low ticket items or anything like that because we're going to dive into that in a later episode. But just, you get what I'm saying. Whereas you walk into a designer store, let's take Prada, for example. You walk into Prada and you have wanted these sunglasses for like such a long time. You love them. You know the pair that you're going for. You get them and you actually look after them so well. Like I don't know anybody that's ever bought a pair of sunglasses from Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, any of those places and just like throwing them in their car and just, if I find them, I find them. Like, I mean, if that's you, like, wow. But I'm going to say generally people are going to look after these things. They are going to pay interest to them when people ask them about them. They are going to tell them all about them because it's something that, you've really had to have consideration with. You know that the quality, like they just last forever. And honestly, they're normally pretty timeless, right? Whereas you can't really say the same about Kmart. Like often it's a trend place, right? So if something's on trend, Kmart's got it. You can pretty much guarantee that. The perfect example of this is I can't tell you anything that I got from Kmart 10 years ago. Like I honestly couldn't even take a guess at it. I have a pair of Prada sunglasses and that's probably why I'm using that as an example. 10 years ago, still love them. They're still great. 100%. I just cannot see them not being something that I like. Now, back into like why I'm bringing this topic in. I really want you to consider, what do you want to be known as? Do you want to be known as a Kmart store or a designer store? Because I really think it's important because you really need to consider, do you constantly want to be chasing trends? Do you constantly want to pretty much be chasing your tail? Like you're just doing what everybody else is doing. Like, do you want to follow the trends or do you want to be a trendsetter? Like, do you want to be the person that has so much clarity and conviction in what you are doing, what you are selling, that you don't even look sideways at what anybody else is doing? Now, don't get it twisted. Of course, you need to make sure that you're evolving, you're understanding when different habits change, when buyer behaviors change, and all of those things. Like, of course, absolutely, don't get that twisted. But I want you to ask yourself, Are you building a brand? Have you got a store full of just on-trend Kmart items that you're going to have to replace and you're selling for the sake of just selling something? Or have you got a brand, have you got a store that is full of high quality items that you know are timeless, that you know you would back until the end of the earth, that you are proud to sell, that when someone buys it, you're like, yeah, I'm so excited for you. I know this is going to be like a game changer. Like there's a very different energy in the two. And I always talk about building sustainable businesses. And this is something that honestly, I really think is a huge part in it. Now, if you can't already tell, my honest belief is that, sure, the Kmart items, they're always going to sell, but you're always going to be chasing your tail, like I said. So if that's what you want to do, no worries. Like you go do you. But for the long term, trust me, high quality designer items. The difference is it's going to take you a little bit longer to create these high quality items. It's not going to be done overnight. You're not just going to buy something, resell it. You're not going to, it's not just going to be a Canva template. Like it's going to take a little bit longer. But again, like you reap what you sow. And this is where you have to ask yourself, how much work do you really want to put into this? Like how serious are you actually taking this? Like are you willing to put in the hard yards now? So then in 1, 2, 3 years time, everything's just like smooth sailing and, you actually have the business that you desire to have. You know how everyone talks about those freedom-based businesses? It's a lot of work in the beginning. So your task for today, I want you to make a decision. Here and now, I want you to make a decision. Which one are you? What are you building? And then I want you to come into the community and I want you to tell me. I'm going to put a poll up actually. I'm going to put a poll up and I want you to vote. And then I want you to comment and I want you to tell me, do you believe that that's already what you have? Or do you believe that you have work to do in order to achieve that? Have a look at your brand, have a look at your products, have a look at your content, have a look at all of that, and then answer those questions for me. That's a wrap on today. I'm excited. I know this is, a little bit of a spicy one for some people, but honestly, trust me, you're going to feel good after this exercise. You're probably going to feel like you have a little bit of work to do, but that's okay. I am excited. I cannot wait to hear what you bring, what this brings up for you. Let's do it.